All right, so I've been convinced by my chat to do a settings guide for you all over on YouTube. So you guys can enjoy this as I go over it with chat as well. So if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. All right, so pretty much as you know recently, no, you Hamtaro. No, okay. As you guys know, recently on World of Warships, they recently changed all these settings and stuff, and some people have been getting confused on it, so I'm gonna just go over it for you guys. So pretty much for the I'm gonna go through each one. So I'm gonna go display first. So for the display, it's pretty simple. Most of the time you want to run the game on full screen windowed. If you run the game on full screen, you alt tab it all, it's gonna lock up your computer. It's not a lot of fun to do that, so I'd highly suggest just running the game on full screen windowed. Resolution will be whatever your system is, or whatever your monitor is and such. The UI being at 125% makes it a little bit bigger, so if you're hard of reading, kind of like me where I have bad eyesight, it's better to keep it 125 or more, depending upon how good or bad your eyesight is. Gamma, of course, is how high or low you want it. I keep it at 1, but it's perfectly up to you. Since I stream a lot, I do keep the vertical synchronization on, which locks the frames at whatever my monitor is, which is currently 60. But if you're not streaming and you're not really doing anything heavy intensive on your computer, you can just turn this off and you don't have to worry about that at all. And then they'll just run it like a regular game, and it'll go as high or low, whatever the frames are going for your computer. And if you wanted to extra lock at those frames, you would do triple buffering, but I don't do that because it does take up CPU processing doing that. So it's better just to have the one on if you do that. For the graphics, it's definitely different for each PC. It does tell you in detail what each one of these means, but normally you can just have it as auto configure and it would automatically set it up for you. I have mine on custom because I changed a little more things because I stream on both TikTok and Twitch at the same time. So I went in and kind of changed which ones would be affecting my CPU more, or ones that I felt like were just not necessary. So as you can see, I kind of like turned down like certain ones and such like that would like affect it. So like this wouldn't have affected my processor medium, so I turned it off. So yeah. But if you guys have any questions on this, definitely let me know. Fog transparency is also an important setting. Like if you want the fog to be more realistic, you can have that on like no transparency, so it's more realistic, but I have it more in the middle, so it looks a little bit more realistic. It's not just a blank map. That's more of a fun little feature there. So if you want it to be completely barren of fog, you just do it 100%, and if you want a lot of fog, then you put it on 0. If you don't like having the fire and flood effects on screen, you can turn this off with this. So like if you don't like having the fire or flood animation popping up in your screen when you're getting that, you can also turn that off here. I know a lot of people find that pretty annoying, so you can turn them off right here. Right here, animate the small objects. So on a ship, like the guns rotating or the secondaries rotating, this is what this means. So if you like that being on, make sure you have this clicked on. Then you'll have that turned on. But anyway, moving on to audio. I currently have mine set for high, but ultra is pretty good as well. If you guys like, I currently have mine at high, but people can have it on ultra or high. It depends upon your preference. I have earphones as well, so I keep mine for earphones. Some people like the in-game music. Since I stream, I play my own music while I stream, so I have these both off. But the music in the game is pretty nice, so you can have that turned on to whatever you wish. And again, you can customize the levels of all the different kinds of audio. There's the ambient sounds from like the environment, the waves, see everything like that, the interface, so like clicking around, stuff like that, that sound, that's what it means there. The gunfire, engines, damage, I don't think I really explain that too much. Wide range damage increases the difference between the loudest and the quietest sounds, so it makes it where it makes it where something's really, really loud or something really, really quiet. So it makes it where the quiet stuff is quiet and the loud stuff is loud. It makes it where like the little ricochet sounds, like sometimes if you have this off, ricochets will be extremely loud. and it's better to have this on so you don't get ricochets that sound like they're literally just exploding in your face. Now, not everyone likes ship horns, and there is a feature they added where you can turn them off. So if you guys want to turn off ship horns, you can turn that off there. I like having them on, but some people don't like having them on, so you can turn that off. Voiceover is like the commanders and stuff. Commanders and voiceover than in game. I currently do the extended. It was National Plus, but it's just called extended. So it does, so pretty much every nation, so let's say your teammate is having a Japanese ship and a Japanese commander. You would hear the Japanese commander, and on your own ship, you would hear an English ship, like if you're on an English ship, so you'd hear an English commander for that one. Okay, I need to turn off this Hamtaro. My bad. And quick commands, if you hold B, you can do quick commands, little menu that pops off. Communication, the radio one, if I remember correctly, I like having that on like 23%. And you can have voice chat on if you want. I do not, so I have that off. So there is that. So for this particular section, the HUD, this is for your crosshairs. I use dynamic, but everyone can use whatever one they like. I like using dynamic, but that's just a personal choice. For this interface, this is the one that shows like on the HUD, like the player names or the ship names that are up top. So normally if you have it on simple, you have to hold Alt to be able to see that information. But if you just have it on full, all that information shows up to you automatically, and you do not have to hold Alt to do that. It just gives you the information fully. Team lineups, of course, are where it shows the team setups on the side of the maps, side of like the screen. So it shows teams and who's alive, who's dev, and such like that. The performance right there shows your frames and your server response, so what your ping is on the server. It's pretty useful if you have kind of FPS issues sometimes or server issues. You just want to keep track of that. On the top right, if you want to keep track of like your damage numbers or your potential damage, so this is what this is for. Make sure you have all of these checked if you want that. And if you want to chat with people in games, some people don't want to, you can just turn this off if you like, and you don't have to see anyone, saying anything in chat. So you can turn that off. For the indicators, this one's used for if you're trying to aim at someone that's behind an island, and this indicator will pop up, showcasing you're not able to shoot them. It's very important for the information if you're trying to snipe someone that's like hiding behind an island, or they're about to pop out and you do get a shot. It is very important to have that indicator on. So I definitely say have this one on. In the separate armament reloads, so say you have your main battery like selected, like your main gun selected while your torpedoes are reloading, it will show both the reloads. If you have this off, it will only show the main gun reload and not your torpedoes reloading. You have to switch to the torpedoes to see that. So make sure you have that activated, so if you're on a ship with multiple different kinds of weapons like torpedoes and guns, that you can see both of those. And the time modifiers also shows like how long you're on fire for, or if you have like a heal active and such, like it'll show like the timer you have for those. So say you're on fire for 30 seconds, it'll show you're on fire for 30 seconds. Say you're at a flood for 60 seconds, it'll show that for 60 seconds. It'll show that information for you. The field of view position is the viewing angle in combat. I have mine at 8 and the camera around 6 or 5. The problem is with this particular view, if you have it like this, when you're playing a sub, you're legit almost in the water, so it can make it kind of like nauseous for some reason. It makes me a little bit nauseous for some reason. Normally when I play a sub, I have to bump it up to like 3 or 4 so that it's fine, but normally I have it on -5 or -6 usually. For the camera behavior in combat, I highly suggest you have all of these on. Track the, well, actually, you don't need this one on. Track the located targets, so whenever you're locked onto someone, it'll automatically track it for you, so you don't have to keep dragging your mouse. The automatic switch camera between main guns and torpedoes, so when zooming on the ship, the camera starts switching between the main batteries or the torpedo launchers, depending on the reticle pointed, so very useful for that. Whenever you are whenever you do a free look, so if you hold the right mouse right mouse button and you are like looking around and you go back, it will go back to the position you're originally looking. This is very important if you free look a lot, which a lot of good players do. So they look around while they're aiming at an area, waiting for someone to pop up, or just to see where torpedoes are coming from or where planes are coming from so they can move it properly to be able to dodge. So I highly suggest having this so it doesn't mess up your aim that much whenever you're doing that. The enabled camera feedback is whenever you're taking damage, it kind of gives like a slight feedback. I have that on, but not everyone will like that. So just turn that off if you don't like having the feedback on your camera. For the mouse and keyboard, so for the mouse, they did remove the X and Y axis sensitivities, which I feel like they're going to add them back because there's been people complaining about it. So I feel like they're going to add the X and Y axis sensitivity back, but that's my sensitivity. If you want to use that, you can. If not, it's okay too. Also, for the controls and keyboards, you guys can do whatever you wish here. For the switching between armament 1s and 2, I have it as my 2 buttons on my mouse. The 2 mouses for my mouse for that to be able to switch between the 2. For the priority sector anti-air, I have it as spacebar, so it's pretty easy to do the sectoring for the anti-air. For the zoom in and out, I just have it as the plus and minus on my numpad, so it's pretty easier to make it bigger and smaller. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, let me know in the comment down below. Thank you guys all for watching, and yeah. Wow.